My end of year financial to-do list. Year end is where small actions in your finances have an outsized impact on your portfolio going forward 5, 10, 15 years in the future. Most retirees close out the year without realizing they just left thousands of dollars on the table. So I've got a list of things here. Gosh, I didn't count them. Let's say 10. There's 10 things on my list that I wanted to go through with things I mentally think through. This is my list. Now, to be honest, right now I'm only 61, so some of these things don't apply to me yet because I'm not at RMD age, for example. I'm not taking Social Security, for example. But I listed them here just to keep my comprehensive list going and make sure I think about that topic because it's coming. And so um, I try not to think just in this year. And that's so important for retirees. I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to and they say, hey, I just take out 4% a year or I take out 5% a year and see what happens. I'll worry about RMD at RMD time. I want to take my Social Security at 62. What's the impact of that on taxes? They don't know. So having a comprehensive review and checklist and a view of looking how everything fits together because every decision you make affects almost everything else in retirement. Uh, there's thousands and thousands of dollars involved there. So you've heard me talk about that before. Let's get into it. Number one, health savings account. If you have a health savings account, and I do, this is where I contribute to that. Make sure I'm contributed to it. A single, it's $4,300. Married, it's $8,550 that you can do in a year. Except if you're over 55, which I am, and my wife is, you can do $1,000 more each. So that's great. So make sure you don't forget about that. Let's see. Number two, Roth conversions. Gosh, this is where I spend a lot of time, and to me, I'm having a little bit of challenge this year. I'm trying to decide. Let me know in the comments what you think of whether I should put money in the 24% bracket. I'm going to do the 22, fill that up, but I'm thinking about 24. I use my Boldin software. It really says 224, but I just hate paying those taxes. That 24, I don't know if it's only 2% difference, but 22 to 24. But man, I don't write a check. I do it online, but man, that is painful. And I've left other videos on how I get past that, but I'm still in the denial phase of wanting to write that check. We'll see what I do. But I did my analysis about 2 weeks ago and I'm just cringing. When you're doing Roth conversions, make sure you pay attention to your IRMA, which is your Medicare premiums. Remember that has a 2-year look back. So if you're 63, decisions you make when you're 63 are going to affect your premiums when you're 65 and on Medicare. Big deal. So, hey, number three, and this is one my wife and I choose to do, is we're funding 529 accounts for our grandchildren. I currently have one grandchild, and the last 3 years I've been putting in money there. In Indiana, they give you a tax credit of 20% of whatever you put in, up to a maximum of $7,500. So you put in, let's make this math easier. You put in $5,000, they'll give you 20% of that as a credit on your state taxes. So I get $1,000 back. So it cost me $4,000 to put $4,000 in, to put $5,000 in. I think I said that right. So I get $1,000 tax credit if I put in $5,000. Absolutely great. And you can invest that and leave it alone. So that's our plan right now, is to significantly fund our kids' education plans in the future. 529 accounts. Hey, my name is Joe. I'm 61. I've been retired for 7 years. I'm sharing my journey to help you make decisions on your journey towards retirement. Perhaps retire 1, 2, 3, 4 years earlier than you thought was possible. Have you even looked? I've people that have looked at their retirement as a result of listening to my videos. It looked at their planning, looked at the recipe that I followed to retiring early. And they said, man, I can retire 2 years early. I can retire Monday. Okay. My 5-step plans, the first thing you'll come to in the show more. Check that out. It's the process I followed, and what I've learned from talking to thousands of people, making these videos, all my research, all my comments that I get and emails and conversations. This is what I've learned. And it's what people are saying they have done to retire early. So let's go to action number 4, charitable giving. My wife and I target 10% giving of our income. That's what we did during our working years. But that gets kind of complex in retirement. Investments go up and down. What do we do? We've modified that to 10% of our spending. So whatever we spend in a year, we give away 10% of that. Most of that to our church, some of that to other causes, the remaining to other causes. Some of it is to family that needs help, individuals. So we give to big causes and small individual causes as well. Just what we do. If you're 70 and a half, consider qualified charitable distributions. It's a way to take money out of your IRA and count towards RMDs. If you're so inclined, you can also use donor advised funds. I'm not doing that yet. Really thinking about that hard in 2026, doing that a little bit more, but I'm not doing that currently. And that's probably embarrassing that I'm not doing that, but I'm not doing it. Number 5, I share everything here. Required minimum distributions doesn't affect me. Make sure you're doing your RMDs. There's a 25% penalty if you miss that. Number 6, check your Medicare IRMA brackets, IRMAA brackets. Remember, there's a 2-year look back on that to determine the premiums for your supplements. Big deal. Make sure, it may be the right decision to do the big Roth conversion in your IRA. That may make a perfect sense, but don't be surprised when your IRMA goes up. Number 7, tax loss harvesting. This is in your taxable brokerage account. If you have an account that has lost money in this year down, you can sell that at a loss and offset some other gains that you may have. I don't have this situation, but I always look at it. All my investments have been doing well so far. Number 8, review beneficiaries. I can't stress this one enough. I just had my mom pass away back in April, and we had a few accounts where the beneficiaries weren't set up right. Mom's 401k or IRA wasn't set up with a beneficiary and caused a significant amount of work getting that set up. So every time you go into your account, or at least maybe the last time of the year, when you're going in and you're checking your account balances to see how things have shaken out for you, what your returns have been so far for the year, check that beneficiary. Make sure you got it right. The most common error I found was ex-spouse listed more than 20 years ago. So an ex-spouse is something that is the most common error. So that little bit of trivia for you. Number 9, review next year's withdrawal strategy. How are you going to take money out? Are you going to go taxable first, then IRA, then Roth? What makes sense based on where you're at? There's no perfect answer for this. Everybody's going to be different. If you got a big IRA, maybe you want to take the IRA down first. If you got a modest IRA, say, $350,000, $400,000, $500,000, good amount to have, but you may not have an RMD problem, so you may be better pulling out of your taxable account first. Boldin does a phenomenal job of modeling this for you. A phenomenal job. It's the second link you'll come to below. I can't imagine doing it yourself retirement without Boldin. Folks, I just truly can't imagine doing it. It's just staggering to me that you would go without this tool. Free 2 weeks. Check that link. Portfolio analysis and rebalance. every 6 months, I go through all my assets. How have they been doing the last year, the last 5 years, last 10 years, last 20 years? I look at everything. How are they trending? That just gives me peace of mind. I like knowing how the sausage is made. I'm an engineer. Okay. Bring investments back to targets. That may be something you want to do. Rebalancing. Rebalancing is risk management. I decided I wanted to be about 80-20, 80-20 equities to fixed. So where am I at? And I rebalance when that gets out of whack. Now, technically, you've heard me leave videos on this. I use buckets. I try to keep 10 years of expenses that I need from my investments in fixed assets. That's where it's not actually 80-20. It's actually 82-18. And that number changes because, whenever I take Social Security, the amount of money I need from my investments goes down. I have deferred compensation coming in right now, which is money I didn't take when I was working. It's kind of like another 401k account. That drops off after 5 more years. So there's some moving parts. I'm actually making some YouTube income. I'm only projecting that for another 3 years. A lot of moving parts. So the 10 years that I need from my investments changes. So that's the number I'm looking at, 10 years, okay? And Boldin does a great job with that. I have an Excel spreadsheet that verifies that. Again, I do that every 6 months. I dive into my portfolio, where my money is, how it's performing. I make sure I have money to live off of, okay? Every 6 months, I've left videos on that. So there you go. Retirement favors the intentional, not the accidental. Don't stumble 1 year at a time in your retirement. Take a look at what you need to do every single year. Have that vision out for the next 30 years, whatever your mortality from where you are. Have that vision out and see your expenses. Boldin does a phenomenal job with this in a graph. It jumps off the page and it suggests improvements. I mean, $144 a year. I can't imagine being retired without it. So there you go. Those are my end of year actions. Joe out.